All right, so we are going to kick this off. The whole point of these calls was to be able to touch base at the beginning of a month, the beginning of a fresh month, and go over what went well, what didn't go well, what your goals are, making sure you have a focus for the first week and kind of give you that like motivation moving forward to have a focus for each week, which I'll go over today. But just to kind of touch base and get you kind of pumped up for a month if you're coming off of a hard month, or just carry on the pump from February, because sometimes it can be like, oh, I did well, I can take 2 or 3 days off, I'm fine. And then all of a sudden, the end of the month, you're scrambling again because you have this mentality that last month was so good, this month's going to be so good. But if you've been in here more than 2 or 3 months, you know that each month is literally a new month. And sometimes that is hard, but that is also the gift of this business, is that it doesn't matter what happened last month. What happens this month is what matters, and this is where your focus and energy needs to be. So coming off of that, I'm going to share kind of my thoughts on that. And then I want to know what went well for you, what lessons you're learning. Whoever wants to share, I will not make you share if you don't want to. And then something that's just been sticking with me. So I'll kind of share my thoughts with this. I'll go over what's coming up, and then I'll open it up to you guys. Okay, good deal? Okay. Let me get my calendar up so I won't say days. So before I start, okay. So some of you on the call know, maybe if you listen to the recording, I was just in a funk last month. Like it's like I feel night and day from like 2 weeks ago till today. Like I don't know what happened. I don't know. I don't get a period, so I don't know if it was hormonal or not, because I don't ever know that time of the month. So I don't know if it was like that. I don't know if I was just talking to the girls before the call. It's just like the heaviness of the winter, or life with 4 kids, or what. But it wasn't just my business that was struggling. Like I was just snapping at my kids. I just felt impatient with them. They were just driving me crazy. I was driving myself crazy. Matt and I were driving each other crazy. It just felt like life was hard. And I texted Meg a couple weeks ago. I think it was last week. I said, this is where I'm at. I don't know what I need to do right now, but right now I do not feel like coaching is making me a better person. I don't feel like coaching is making me a better wife. I don't feel like it's making me a better mom at all. So this is what I'm doing to figure this out, because I say this openly and I say this vulnerably. Like I was ready to like push cancel it, like just be done, like just walk away and just not have this on my heart, like not have this on me anymore. Like I just couldn't do it. But I can't do that either, because I don't want to let anyone down. Like I genuinely love what I do, and I love what this allows me to do. But I think I lost sight of my purpose on why I do this. And as much as I want a business like Matt Way or Holly Hillier or all of those amazing top 10 coaches that are just crushing it while being moms, yes, they are moms now, but they weren't moms while they built this whole entire business. The only one I feel like that can stand at that top as top coach and say she raised babies and did this was Melanie Mitro, because her babies were so young. Other coaches have had babies in the mix, and I feel like it's hard to get your footing 1,000% when you're in the thick of motherhood. And maybe that's an excuse, I don't know, but sometimes that is how I feel majority of the time. So I had to look back and say, does God want me to stand on a stage and be like, it was me, it can be done, you can raise 4 kids and build this top 10 business? Like, is that what is supposed to happen? Like, is that what this big dream is? Is this what the big impact is? Because that's what I want. I want to be able to stand on stage and be like, you can do this. This is so simple. This is blah, blah, blah. This is just hard. This is just show up and do your business activity tracker and you'll make it to the top. I'm going to tell you that I don't know that that is true. But I do know that you can build a super, super, super impactful business without having to get on that stage, without having to wear a top 10 recognition title or a top 50 or even elite. Because when I look back at 2019, my income went up almost $20,000 and I didn't hit elite. I didn't end the year 5-star, right? I didn't have any rank advancement at all in my business. Diamonds flip-flopped, which means you don't rank advance. I lost 1 diamond in my second business center, but I gained a new one. I lost 1 or 2 in my first business center, but I gained a new one. So sometimes it feels like you're redoing and you're just replacing. And the truth of the matter is, it is. The team that is here today is not going to be the team that takes us to 10-star, right? There's going to be new people. People are going to fizzle out. People are going to leave. The people that made our team 5-star elite in the very beginning, none of them are here. One of them are here. All right. So it's not about that. And I read a book a little while ago, and it was like Tiny Business, Big Impact. And I remember thinking in 2018/2019 when I was reading it, that's what I want. I want a tiny business, one that I can manage, one that brings me joy, one that brings me excitement, one that brings me people who are my people, that I don't have to filter through, even going through the downline, that I love. I know that, Brandy, I know you have coaches on, like, I know that when I meet your coaches in person, they are going to feel like my people because they are your people, right? And I got lost. I got so lost. I'm starting the year, and maybe you guys feel this too. I'm going to have these big goals. I'm going to set these big dreams, and I'm going to set these big, audacious business goals. And there's nothing wrong with that. But make sure they align with the core value of who you are, and make sure they align with other purposes that are on your heart. I got a babysitter 4 days a week, 5 hours a day, and my business has not changed. I'm hitting Success Club just the same. I'm not recruiting any more coaches than I was in October, right? I haven't rank advanced, and I'm stressed out at home, and I'm miserable at home, and my joy is like being sucked alive. And so last week I said, all right, God, I don't know what I'm supposed to do. So right now I'm just going to stand still. I'm going to adjust some business hours. I'm going to cut back, but not walk away. And it was really crazy because like 2 days later, our babysitter, who I was like, I can't quit. I can't like tell her I don't need her anymore. I can't do it. Got a full-time job offer. So come middle of March, she's down to 1 day a week anyway. And then come May, she's done completely. So it was like, you don't want to take the action, I'll make the action happen. I'll figure this out for you. I'll do this for you if you're not going to do it. If you can't like be brave enough to do what I'm calling you to do right now, I'm going to make you do it. And so I'm like, okay, we're going to teeter off. But that means that I have to be super intentional. So in one of Elisa's videos, she says, if you're stuck, don't give up, try something different. Don't give up, try something new. So I had to look back and say, okay, what is not working? My systems aren't working. Trying to post all of this stuff on Instagram and have the perfect post and keep a curated little square is not working for me. It doesn't feel authentic. It doesn't feel real. I feel like stressed out because I don't have a paper plate recipe today because we're not eating and I didn't take a picture last week and blah, blah, blah. I'm like stressed out because of that, when I really just want to share my life. And that's what people were connecting with before. Maybe I wasn't making a ton of sales, but now I have a system to connect more with people. Maybe I didn't need to adjust my posting schedule. I needed to make the shift to just, how do I connect with the people who are following me first, right? So I think I did too big of a shift on Instagram. I redid it all. And maybe I just needed to do one thing. I just need to do a few things. So fixing that, making a small shift with that, keeping my network hour, keeping my engagement up with that, but going back to what I feel I want to post. What's going to make my page feel authentically me all of the time? And taking feedback. People love recipes, so I do need to work those in, but the last 2 weeks haven't been that. Tonight, I'll have a recipe to share. So making sure that this is not sucking the joy, that this is something that you love and look forward to. And I feel like there's a fine line between keeping this at like a hobby and moving this to a business. And I feel like that's where a lot of us get stuck. And so we feel like to keep it from, or to take it from hobby to business, we have to have all of these perfect things in a bigger business and more people. And I think we just need to continue doing what we're doing and just up our numbers a little bit. and not have like this drastic change or have to invest all of this time. I didn't start this business because I wanted to work. And I feel like that's what I'm supposed to say. I feel like I'm supposed to say, all right, I did this. Now I want to take it here. And instead, Matthew was like, look at what you did. Like, why isn't that enough? Like, why does it have to be more? I'm like, you know what? Maybe it doesn't. I can still run. We can still build businesses that we can manage that have a huge impact if we are consistent and if we continue to find the joy in it, because how you feel about your business is what's going to come out. And I truly believe that's why I am struggling enrolling coaches, because I feel so stressed out about my business and that I have to do XYZ and it can't just be super simple, that I'm not attracting people. I'm making this not look fun. I'm making this look very stressful, or that you have to have a sitter. And so I'm excited to go back to working this in the nooks and crannies. I'm excited to go back to fitting this in throughout my day and just being okay with 15-minute power sessions. Being okay getting those in 1 or 2 times a day and knowing that that's what I did today to move my business forward. And those 2 people that I invited today on the 5th day may be my 10 yeses, or my 1 in 10 yeses. And I'm going to help those 1 or 2 people that day. And that's going to be a big impact on their life. So changing my hours, changing my perspective, changing my activity, those 15-minute power sessions, I feel like are not only going to help me, but hopefully they will help you. And every single time I do them, I will try my best to make sure that I'm in that team page going live, just to show up, just to show you guys like, hey, this is what I'm doing today. This is what I got accomplished, especially on a Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So adding those in I hope for our team will start to bring in some community and start to bring in some action that helps you guys see and new coaches see that it doesn't have to be a power hour every day to be worth your while. So this first week of the new coach training that we have going with Meg and Abby is going to be all about training and teaching them. And then next week is going to be the morning post to train and teach them. But then one of us will have live in the new coach training. So if you have new coaches in there, we will be doing a 15-minute power session with them just to get them taking action in there. And it'll be just in that group. And so that's what we're going to try it this time around. I think it'll go really well, because I think what gets stuck is the power hour is very like an hour of my day. And people don't know the actions enough to, like, we're at the point now where we can go on our business for 10 minutes and know what to do in that 10 minutes. A new coach is going to go, I opened Facebook and I scrolled for 8 minutes and I sent 1 message, because they're not trained to do that yet. But if we get in there for 15 minutes and show them 3 minutes here, 3 minutes here, 3 minutes here, I feel like that's just going to help them instill those actions, and then tell them, hey, if you have 30 minutes, just double the time. Just double the time, or do it once and then do it again, however that case may be, but hopefully breaking that down. So that was one thing that I want to do for our team, but also bring that into the new coach training so that you guys have new coaches in there getting excited. So any questions on that kind of stuff? Like, no, good. The other thing that I did, and some of you are gonna be like, duh, I got the Kate Bullard planner. I'm super excited. Matt asked me if I wanted this for Christmas, and I was like, no, I have my way. I'm good. And then I decided last week, I was like, you know what? I need to try something new. I need to do something different. So I have it here. It's here. It's all filled out. I have people that I invited already today. I have it all set, content. So if you're stuck, Sarah says she's already wondering if she hit her goal. Ugh. And we're supporting a fellow coach on her little business, which is super, super cool.
Britt, I think you'll really like it, because if I remember right, you do like your top daily to-dos.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a section for that for each day. And I think that you'll be able to still use that part of your normal list that you usually do, and then kind of.
And that's what I messaged Kate, and I was like, can you explain this section and this section, please? And so she was like, yes, this was the business activity tracker. And that's why I asked to see yours. Like, so this I just filled in with the business activity tracker things that I do. And then this side, she was like, she said she uses these 3 top daily to-dos. not for business. She uses it for like her other things, which that's what my biggest thing was. I was like, but I still have a list. So I'll just probably have it because I have a very big other to-do list. But if I break it down to the top 3 plus my work, that again, like when I get done at 1, I should just be able to focus on the kids. Like I ran errands this morning. I did this morning. I did that this morning. Like I should be able to just at 1 o'clock, my stuff's done and just focus on the kids. So if you are struggling, I highly recommend, I think it was like $49 for the 6 months is what I paid. There's maybe a special or a coupon code if you want to message Kate, but I'm super excited. And people will be in one spot. So really excited for that. But that was my other, like, if it's not broke, don't quit. Like instead of putting in my cancellation, I was like, I'm going to try this planner. And hopefully this will just help me stay on track and put this up on the counter, on the kitchen counter with my To Be Mindset food tracker, which I started again this week, and just really get back into, and she talked about on the National Wake Up Call, if you guys didn't listen to that yet, I actually did. She talked about that, like go back to a time when things were going really well. Go back to a time when you felt in control, when you felt successful, when you felt like you were seeing consistent success. And it was working while Hayden and Lincoln were home. It was working while Brooklyn and Grayson were home. And that's where I found joy. That's where I found excitement. And that's where I found fulfillment. Not being away from them 20 to 25 hours a week. And then feeling like when I was with them, it was dinner, chores, or dinner, like get dressed, we need to go get the kids, we need to go do this, we need to, like, just so messy. And so anyways, yes, go back to, you know, what the joy was when you were seeing success. And if you're not seeing the success that you want, just make one shift direction change. I'm making like 4, but make 1 and make sure that your purpose and your calling and your heart are just all aligned in one. Because if you don't, it will come out and you'll not see success in anything. And that's kind of where I felt like I was going. So I lost my paper. That does not surprise me. Okay, so coming up, we have, I'll just make this real fast, the Shakeology I'm calling it a superfood sneak peek group on my Instagram stories. That will start March 9th. So March 9th through the 16th. I am having everyone order or message, like mailing everything out by Wednesday. That way the person who fills it out Wednesday at 9 p.m., I can still mail it on Thursday and be done. And I'm closing, like, I will not personally be mailing anything out. I will not be adding anyone else. I will stop promoting it. You can do what you need to do for you. But you are welcome to have you join that. You can have your clients join that. It was just, I had so much. You can see 2 boxes over here and over there. Like so much Shakeology, and we haven't done these in a while. So I thought, why not try this, especially in the month of March, where so the next point to that is I'm not running a big challenge group. I have Bar Blend still going. And then I have my virtual fit crew. So I'm focusing on just nutrition and helping people get started whenever for the month. So I've been promoting it that we start March 19th or March 9, and we'll go through the 31st, just the month of March, to help them get set up. And I'm only doing To Be Mindset. So if you have To Be Mindset people that are struggling, you can add them into this group. I'm literally just running it from the very beginning. We started prep week this week, and I'm going to share my planner and my meal plan in there this week so that they can kind of see. And then next week, I'll start asking them for their planners and trackers. So if you have clients that need a little help with To Be Mindset, you can add them in there. So that's my challenge group. And then Monday, March 16, I want to start like a coach sneak peek or something, but I wanted to hear feedback from you guys on what kind of sneak peek do you think goes well, or do we not do one? I feel like they're hit or miss, but I feel like we need one as some of us go to Punta Cana that weekend. And then I'm going to do a story share in an event, again, going back to what went well when our team went elite. And that was doing these monthly or bi-weekly events, sharing my story on live Facebook. And I haven't done that in a really long time. So I'm going to schedule that for Sunday, March 29 at 9 p.m. I'll go live in that event, and I'll do all that later. But any thoughts on coaching stuff like that? Any feedback, ideas?
What was the date for that coaching?
I'll share my story March 29.
March 29th. Okay.
So I guess part of like me trying to get more coaches onboarded, there is like what I've been doing is asking clients if they're interested, and then they're like, yeah, but I don't really know what you do. So I don't know, like doing a coach sneak peek, like a whole week-long group hasn't been, it's almost like more than they need, or like, I don't know. Like
Yours is
I
more
just,
like one-on-one though. Like
yeah. So I don't know. Like it's just, that's where I always get to, and I feel so weird. They're like, sure, I'd like more information. And then I'm like, what do I do next? I don't know. Like that's
so
where
if you
I can
invite them
feel
to
that.
coaching and they say, yeah, I'd love more information, what do you send?
I mean, if there is a sneak peek, I send them to that. If there's not, then I have like a form that has, it's got like a bit about my story. It's got like your income story. It has how to sign up. It's just like I put basically one of Meg's little groups into a form. So I have that. And that's it. I don't know, but I feel like people still don't, I don't know. I don't know. I've had a lot of coaches sign up and then say like, this isn't for me like I thought it was going to be. And I'm feeling like I'm not setting them up well, and I don't know.
So maybe yours, because my people like don't, if they have a hesitation, it's not that they don't know what I would do as a coach. It's fear. It's, not having a before and after. But maybe for you, Sarah, you record like your vital behaviors for the day, like a day in the life of you.
Okay.
Like I have one of those. So if someone asks me, like if I'm at one-on-one, I send them Carl's video first. And
Okay.
I send them that video. I see what they think, hesitations, kind of a different verbiage that she talked about in the National Wake Up Call today. I was like, instead of saying, what are your hesitations? What are your concerns? Just changing that like verbiage. So it's not negative, like acknowledge their concerns, but hesitations or fears, just kind of, they keep hearing that word again, like hesitation, fear. What are your fears and hesitations? I had those fears and hesitations too. Concern is just like, I'm kind of concerned about it, and instead of it being a fear or failure thing. So changing that one word, I think might help, just in keeping the conversation open so that they're not, people will voice their concerns. They won't voice their fears.
Right.
That makes sense. So kind of just changing that conversation. And then like this one girl, her hesitation is fear. So I can't send her a video about that. I have to talk to her about that. But if they're like, what exactly do you do in a day? I have a video that says a day in a life as a coach, and I break it down into blocks. So it's like block 1, and then I share some videos or pictures and that. I'll show you the video. You guys have access to the video, but I'll share it.
Thank you.
Do a video. I don't know if you guys have it or not. So in my notes section on my phone, I have a whole sequence lined out. As soon as they're interested, there's like first message. When they say this, I send that. So it's just like lined out in my notes app. And one of the things that I send them is, I'm trying to find it really quick. It's a video that explains like what we do as coaches. Like it talks about like we hold either a Facebook group or my challenge tracker group. We message people inviting to this, that, and the other. Here's what the Success Club, like a girl, I don't know who did it. It's a 10-minute video.
Oh, is it Brooke? It's Brooke Lipoffs.
Is it?
I think so. Will you just send the link in here? Yeah, I think it's Brooke Lipoffs. I think I've seen that before. So that might help. So do you feel like maybe I just try another event then, maybe the 16th, and see how live events do this month before we do like a group, and you can just invite to that one day? Does that make sense? Like, what do you guys like? If I were to invite you to something, what would you want to be invited to? One day, one time, or over 3 days checking in?
Probably 3 days, just because you never, like for me, like I work, and so I don't know when it's going to be slow enough that I could check into something. And then if I miss it, I don't feel like I totally missed out, like I can keep learning and going. And yeah, like a little bit at a time.
So what if we kind of try something new, and maybe I'll create a group, and the 15th I'll kick it off and share my story in the group or in the event. I'll make the event like 3 or 4 days. That way the event is public. And I think that just, instead of people being, oh yeah, I'm interested in joining, like people can see that I'm going to this event, and they see I'm going live in this event, and it gets more traction. And you can invite your people, and if they watch, so-and-so's watching an event, I feel like instead of being in a closed private group. So, okay, here's my thoughts. You can chime in. I'll go live, I'll create an event Sunday through Wednesday. I'll go and share my story. So it'll be like 30 minutes. I'm not going to put a time frame on it. Like I'll just share my story at some point on Sunday, probably Sunday night. And then Monday I can do a day in the life video. And I actually have a hair appointment that day. So I'll show them that you can work while you're doing life. And thank you, Beachbody, for paying for my $200 hair appointment today. Because I'm not going to my cousin, I'm going to a salon. So I can do a day in the life and just like, I wonder if I can do stories in the event, or I'll just take a lot of stories and at the end of the day, I will share a day in the life. But I think sometimes it's nice to have a real, like, this is what we do, this is how I'm getting in my day type of thing. So I'll be super intentional either that Friday before the 13th and record everything and put it in another new fresh video. So Monday, a day in the life. And worst case scenario, I'll just use the video I have. Tuesday, what we do. Like we're accountable, we have Facebook group, we share our journey, we invite, work off of a checklist, and I can talk about the planner, the business activity tracker, and I'll go live and do that like a live again that Tuesday. And then Wednesday, do like a how you can start and what training looks like on our team. Do you feel like that covers big questions as far as to what people may have? So Sunday will just be like my story, why I started, what's changed. Monday, a day in the life, kind of showing how we fit this in our business. And that day I won't have a sitter. So that's truly going to be like my dad hopefully can come and watch the kids while I get my hair done type of day, like, because I schedule it before she canceled. And then Tuesday, what we actually do, like what is a Beachbody coach? This is what we do. We hold people accountable. We help pair people to a program that works for them, not a program to everyone, that kind of go through that kind of thing. And I think that will help too with like the salesy question of like, I don't want to be salesy. Perfect. We're not asking you to, we're asking you to share your journey and see if that programs and products that we have can help someone with their solutions or their problems. And then Wednesday, what the cost is, how they can sign up. And then once you are a coach, what does training look like on our team? I'll go over the 2-week new coach training, an email to help get you started. And then we have weekly team calls, monthly team calls, and whatever accountability you personally need, you can set up with your coach, that kind of thing. Does that feel good? Yeah, I think we'll start March 15th through the 18th. I just feel like we need something. And then March 29, I'll just share my story again after Punta Cana. Yeah. Does anybody want to chime in that Monday, Tuesday, or Wednesday and do a video instead of me doing it? Doesn't have to be me. You can think about it. I'll plan on doing it all if someone changes their mind. Brandy said you can try. Okay. You do a really good job at day in the life. You do that all day anyway.
Careful. Look careful, Mom.
I think we're gonna be out of town Tuesday and Wednesday, so I can be like a cheerleader in there, but I probably can't do a ton of like video stuff.
That's fine. Brandy, I say you do a day in the life because you can literally just download your Instagram stories for that day and put that in a YouTube video. I'm not even joking.
Oh, that'd be perfect.
You could just download all your IG stories from one of your days and then put that in like Splice or a video editor and make a video and upload it to YouTube. That's all. I think that's all I did on my other one. I just recorded intentional videos versus it being on the fly because I'm too type A, but you do a really good job. Okay, perfect. All right, she's doing Monday. Done deal. And then, you know, if you want to pop in there and just show people like, hey, this is me working my business while I'm at my kids' basketball practice, or I'm in between running my kids from basketball practice to baseball practice, and I'm just getting in a quick 20 minutes, or I'm reading my personal development while I'm driving. If you can chime in anywhere in that event and just show how you're getting in the actual work, not personal development, not your workout, that kind of stuff, as a challenger, they'll learn anyway. It's the business activities, how do they fit that in, that kind of stuff. So Brandy, I'll mark you down for that. And then I'll do Tuesday and Wednesday. It's fine. Good deal?
And I see Christina and Kimberly are on. I think even Christina's like, I'm new. Okay, this is scary, but I also think it's really good for like new coaches to kind of say like, I was like not sure what I was doing either when I first started, but I was given this checklist and I just went for it, and this is how I made it work. And this is what I've learned so far being into the business, you know, X many months or weeks or whatever. And then that way they see that, all right, well, these people, of course they know what they're doing and
right,
how it works. But it would be nice to see like a newer coach be like, all right, it was overwhelming at first. And then I realized that, oh, I just have a checklist. I know what to do. And this is what I'm doing. And this is how I make it fit. And, you know, something.
Yeah, I think like you are new, but we were all new at one time. So what people see with us today, and you just heard me, hopefully, like, I still don't have it all together. Like, I still have to learn in new seasons and new mindsets and new ways of life. So, you know, like Brandy's incredibly consistent at sharing her Instagram stories and being so open and just great about working this business in there. It is not a strength of mine. It is something that I have to work on because it feels so weird to me to do, like, I just did this, da, da, da. But she does such a good job, like, just worked my coaching biz into da, da, da. And I'm like, okay, you and Megan Thomas. Megan's got like this emotional, amazing mindset side of it and connecting like to the emotion of her business or her stories. And I feel like I have like a heart, like Princess Anna, like frozen with this. Like I can't like get, like, I can't like get it out. Like I can't get my excitement and like, I can't be vulnerable on Instagram stories. I don't know what it is. It just feels incredibly awkward. And she like rocks it. And then you rock like, this is what I'm doing. This is my consistency. This is my routine. Like you do such a good job of that. And so you're awkward. We're all awkward. It's so weird though. Like it's the perfectionist in me. I'm a 1 on the Enneagram. So if it feels like super awkward or like not perfect, or I didn't finish a sentence or my words stumbled out wrong, I have a really hard time doing it. So I've had to like work at it, which makes it even more awkward. But anyways, we all have strengths. And I think, Brandy, you bring up a really good point. Seeing people who have been in this for a month or 2 months, that's inspiring to say, you know what, they felt how I did 2 months ago, and now look at the routines they've built or the business they've built, or they shared their before and afters. Kimberly, you just shared yours, right? Is it you who did it? Yeah. Like huge. And there might be someone who is debating on whether or not they can coach or do this or not because they can't share before and after, when maybe you felt the same way in the very beginning. And now here you are sharing amazing before and afters from a program that you probably didn't think you'd get amazing results from, right? Like, so I think there is a lot of key value in that. And maybe we'll brainstorm a little bit, and maybe on Wednesday, if one of you are up for it, Wednesday morning, we can have a new coach go live and share like what they were really concerned about or didn't think they were able to do, and now where they are, you know, 2 months, 3 months, 4 months into the business and what's grown. So I'll make a note of that. New coach share. Okay, perfect. So I like that feedback. Thank you. Yeah, okay, Christina's gonna do it. She's gonna do it Wednesday morning. She's gonna do it. I love it. You share so well on social media anyway, like you got it. You're good. You're good. And if you need to practice a few times before and just push delete. It's fine. Okay, so we got that down. I will work that into the calendar tomorrow because I have about 20 minutes left before the sitter comes. Or before my sitter's done. Someone hold my hand. We'll hold your hand through the TV screen or the computer screen. So we've got that done. All right, does anyone want to share a lesson they learned from February, or something that went really well, or something that they're proud of themselves for?
I'll share something, because I'm really, really excited about it. I finally feel, and you see a couple of them on here, three of my coaches, I'm so proud. I finally feel like I found like my people, you know, where it doesn't feel forced or awkward, and it just feels really fun, and like building that, like I finally feel like I have that team culture that everybody, like all the leaders are talking about, like, oh, it's all about team culture. And I'm like, I don't know how to do that. I don't know what that means. And it's just kind of, I feel like I finally got that, you know, like it's all about just finding the right people. Because I kept thinking, well, maybe it's something I'm doing. Maybe I'm not a leader, blah, blah, blah. I really don't think that it really has much to do with leadership, as it does is just community amongst your group. And so when I created a message thread for the coaches that I have that are Emerald and above, and we just share every day, we talk every day, we bounce ideas off of each other every day, we just talk about life every day, and it has been so awesome. So if anybody hasn't done that yet, just do it. It seems so simple and silly, but it has been so great. Like we're just becoming like close friends, and it's just so awesome. So
I love that.
that's
that was a huge thing for me on Meg's team. And I was just talking to Meg about that. Like the girls that I clung on to in the very beginning, I'm the only one standing of all those girls. But that has just forced me, like at retreats, to get to know her new coaches and to dive in with her new coaches and dig in deep into the downline. So like Jamie Brown, Megan Thomas, Abby Walsh, like I still need to have people that I connect with on Meg's team. And I think that's super important too. So quality over quantity. Yeah. Yep.
I'll share something that kind of was significant for me for February. I learned to like be okay with the way that I look, because even with all of the great, you know, positive affirmations and personal development, I still had an ideal body type that I wanted to fit into. And through like our message thread, through inviting, and I finally like I looked at my stretch marks and like, you know, these might never go away. and I was at peace with that. Like I found a way to find joy with the way that I am now, and find joy in my family. And I really don't think that would have come if I had not had such a super focus that I did with my message thread and team. And I don't know, it was really significant for me. So
that's awesome. I'm not crying, you're crying. It's fine. It's fine. I love that. And I think like it's just a reminder that this is so much more than losing weight. And I think we forget that, especially when we get to that point ourselves, we forget all of the work mentally and physically and with community that it took to get there. Like you say it happened in February. The realization happened in February, but all of the work came before the result. And I think that's so like a good point to remember, that it didn't just, you just wake up in February 29th and like, oh, I feel better now. Like it was the accumulation of everything. It was showing up for 8 weeks with Bar Blend and listening to Elise just pour positivity into you every single day, and that you are more than your body. You are a mind, you are a spirit, you are a soul, you are a human being who has feelings and values, and it has nothing to do with how you look. I don't need to share all my stuff, but I feel like Feb went really well too. I'm just so proud of you, girl. With all you had going on, like God did all of this for this season of life for you. Like you are handling it like a champ.
I mean, honestly, I feel like without this community, like you guys have helped me together. Like this is what this business has brought me, because otherwise I would be 1,000% alone. Like, do you remember the person I was when I first did a challenge group with you? Like I was alone.
Yeah.
So that's big win for
I
me.
still think sometimes you'd prefer it.
I mean, something with my people, I mean, like, I work almost every day socially with someone on my team now, and it's just, it brings me joy. It like is my release. It's,
Oh, I love that. I love that. I love that. So fun. All right, who else got something? Come on.
I'll go.
Okay.
Go.
I'll go. No, you won't.
So I hit SC12, which I know
So awesome.
a lot of you probably hit it every month.
No,
But
don't
that was
stop.
like a big thing for me.
Huge.
And I totally dropped rank, which broke me because it was
Cheers.
the only time I have dropped rank since I hit Emerald like 20 months ago. And that's totally like, I get that it's a learning lesson. And it is. It totally has been a learning lesson. Because I even like, I checked on Wednesday night and I had 4 active coaches. Hello,
Yeah.
if they're all on your right leg, you're totally screwed. And then hitting SC10 in the week that I drop rank, that's the end of the month, so I don't get customer leads after I begged Eddie to let me pour my heart and soul into this business for a month, telling him it would be worth it because I would hit 5 people and I would get these extra leads, and then to have to go back and tell him that I did it all but didn't do it all was so brutal. And then I went on Instagram stories to like talk about my hard day. I'm totally gonna cry, sorry. And it was really hard and I almost deleted it. I totally almost deleted it and I left it, and I got so many messages from people of like most of them were like, I'm sorry you're having a hard day, but some people were like, it's so nice to see that you have hard days. And I think that's the part that we forget to show sometimes. Like, it's so easy to say, like, we've built this community and we're rocking these programs and we're so good with nutrition, but we forget to like show how hard it was when we started, or like show the bad days of like the day I showed that I had pancakes and beer for dinner. And so I think for me this month has been a lot about humbling you guys, humbling me with Elise for sure, and like being more real on my stories with people, to like find those people to really show that like I'm not perfect all the time, I'm not rocking it all the time, I'm not growing abs every single day, like I'm not hitting all my containers, I'm not, like within reason of like, trying to show people we are living this lifestyle. But so this month was really humbling for me in a whole bunch of aspects. And I offered to Eddie to quit because I was so just like hard one day, and he said no.
I saw that post. No. I was like, wait, did I read that right?
And that was the day that I feel like my heart just like burst into a million pieces. Like I've been waiting for 2.5 years of him like giving me crap every single call, every single time I'm on my phone, every single late night workout, like, and all he said to me was, I've seen the changes that it's made in you and in our family, and I would never ask you to give that up. And like that was huge for us, because there were times when he told me he is fighting every single ounce of him to tell me to walk away. So like, it's a big month. It's been a big month for me.
Oh my gosh,
Yeah.
That's huge. I remember I read that post and I was like, oh my gosh, that's like a complete 180 and like so amazing. Just so amazing. And I'm so proud of you because that's not easy to continue. And I can't imagine trying to build this business without Matt's like support, because it is, time away from the kids and time away from yourself or them, and just energy into something that's not necessarily directly into them, but like he's finally seeing that it really is. Like it really truly is. The more you pour into this, the more your heart is full. And when your heart is full and you feel good, you can pour into your family. And that's like tying it back to where I was in the beginning. And what I talked about, this was not serving me or my family. This was not helpful. And it was either I figure it out or you walk away. And there is a fine line with this business, and I would never, ever, ever ask any of you to sacrifice your family for a goal or sacrifice your family for a title. And so why was I telling myself that that's what had to happen? Right? Like, it just doesn't have to happen for this business to have an impact on other people around you. And all of you on this call are proof of that right now. And I so needed that. And maybe some of you guys did too, to just realize, like, it's not about any of that. It's about what just happened on this call. And I wish more girls were on here, and I hope people listening to the recording will see that and they can come and share that with their upline or me, or if you're listening to the recording, you can come and share anything that happened in February that was humbling or enlightening or exciting, or just a leaf turned over, or a new realization for your business, or whatever it is. Celebrate that so that we can celebrate that with you. So yeah, so I wrote a few of those down. I'm going to share an Instagram story and just put a little caption by all of your guys' pictures, because that was truly just super cool, and really glad that you guys got on and made the time to get on and be vulnerable and share, because I know that's not easy to do. But all right, it was a good call, good productive call. So good job. Thanks for hopping on. Any other questions or anything before we hop off? No? Sarah does.
Are you, sorry, the 10 rounds comes out in March for coaches. Are you doing anything with 10 rounds in April or in March, or are you waiting until April?
I'm gonna
Are
wait.
you gonna do something in April? Okay.
Yeah, I just feel super overwhelmed.
Like, will you do like a launch group that we can all be part of if we want to in April? Okay.
Yes. My thought on that, I'm glad you asked, because I was thinking about it yesterday. My thought on that is get everything in. Coaches can order, customers can't order till April anyway. So it's like, what, I just was struggling trying to do all of this work in March for April stuff. And somebody else posted that too. Like, if I'm posting about 10 rounds now, who's going to buy a challenge pack in March?
Right.
You know, it's going to be kind of hard. So my plan is to focus, like, have us purchase our 10 rounds, do what you want to do personally with 10 rounds, but then I won't do anything customer wise or group wise until like the first week of April, last week of March, maybe when we get back, depending on how it is. We get back from Punta Cana and then Lincoln's birthday, and kind of then the kids have spring break that next week. So it's just kind of a crazy time. My plan is personally to start 10 rounds, like I think it's April after Easter, the Monday after Easter, because it comes out the 6th, but then it's Easter and it's spring break. So people are going to be traveling. People are going to, Easter and Lent and kind of all that stuff ends on Easter month is the 13th. So my thought was do prep week and kind of that kind of stuff. If people are ready to purchase the first week of April, just have people purchase that first week. And then April 13th, we'll kick off the rounds challenge group, like official.
Okay.
And coaches. Yeah. So that'll be the first and only. I won't do like a coaches group. I'll just do one big group of 10 rounds on April 13th, which sounds so far away, but you can, I feel like that way you can advertise the last week of March-ish and get people, maybe we'll get it as we get closer, do like a info group like that Thursday or Friday before people come and keep it short and sweet. Sound good? Help? Seem fair enough? Easy enough? That we're not overwhelmed. Like, someone posted about that in the roundtable. Like, so I'm going to be promoting 10 rounds and it launches April 6th, which is great to hit your goal in the beginning of the month, but no one's going to purchase. Like, no one's going to do March, like a fitness group, if they know 10 rounds is coming. So it's just kind of a weird time. So anything else? No? Okay. All right, guys, I will have the recording up and stuff tonight or tomorrow. And yeah, thanks for hopping on.